Welcome to Saturday Morning Talk Show, Spilling the Tea to Juliet G. It's every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. GMT time.
Charge my energy, I no get time for no enemy. Tori pe pole to me. Nothing with person never see. I'm on nothing with person never see. Forget it, I say bashi. Money soon expected. Take our body, I jump. I take her to the person. Jelly, je. I'm in the answer, then yes sir. Then I'm in the answer, yes sir. Respect is reciprocal, even though una know say I special. Anybody, we no want to search it. Anybody, we no the carry body. Nah, can't something, nah, can't something. To bata fele, nah, can't something. You want your bed, you never walk. So now because myself, I never talk. I look you, they laugh, you go, kitty, go. I shall no say the time go come, mama, I no say the time go come. Money you no go fit the line, mama, life not on python. Whether you like or not, go back in, jammy, you basically go pass. So yeah, keep me jack on bow. Anybody, we no want to search it. Anybody, we no the carry body. Body I jump. I take her to the person. Jelly, je. I'm in the answer, then yes sir. Then I'm in the answer, yes sir. Respect is reciprocal, even though una know say I special. Anybody, we no want to search it. Anybody, we no the carry body. Nah, can't something, nah, can't something. To bata fele, na cansanti. To bata fele, to bata fele, to bata fele, to bata
Well, that was Burna Boy. Anybody? Once upon a time, that was the rage. Every channel was playing Burna Boy. Anyway, morning blessings to one and all, and welcome to Spilling That Tea to Juliet G. Yes, on your number one community radio station. And let's talk. Yes, let's talk. Welcome to another exciting edition of your Saturday morning talk show. Yes, Spilling the Tea. No matter what part of the world you are tuning in from, north, south, east or west, and the surrounding counties, we are Supreme FM to the rest of the world. And if it's your first time listening in, welcome. It's your host, Juliet G, where I converse with real people and get them to spill that tea. And that's a T with a double E. And get them to talk their truth. Now, this morning, excusez-moi, this morning, I have a very exciting action-packed show for you. Yes, I'll be talking to Lee Townsend, who will be bringing us community news, information updates, and we will have banter galore. So stay tuned because it's going to be very interesting. And a very relatable show that many may be able to resonate with. Yeah. Before I move on, I'd like to thank my guests last week. The Townsend princesses, Emily and Naomi Townsend, for giving us their words of affirmation, plus Denise Laidiot, acting director of the Windrush Museum. Watch out for the launch. Now, today is week 27 of the weekly financial challenge. Yes, so today is week 27 of the weekly financial challenge. So if you are saving, you only have to put away £27, and guess what? You'll have £378 saved up. Yes, £378 saved up, getting closer and closer to that all-important goal on the 24th of December, where you will have a saving of £1,378. Gosh, imagine what you can do with all that money. Yes. Now, if you were wondering why I haven't announced this month's winner, or rather last month's winner, there was none. But if you would like to nominate a young person between the ages of 7 and 11 years of age for July, that is this month's prize draw, who are doing well in either sports or school, why not nominate them for my monthly winners prize draw? And they could get a £10 voucher of their choice and a certificate of achievement, which is now being sponsored by Thumb Equest, the UK's #1 black entertainment company. Gosh, they're getting everywhere, they are. Now, by the 24th of December, all the monthly prize draws will battle it out to win a trophy for either sports or education, which is being sponsored by Martin Winter of James Shuke in Barkingside. Plus, they get to win a £50 voucher each. You hear me? Did I say it? Each. But you know, you've got to be in it to win it. So, all you have to do is nominate that young person that fits the bill. And you know what? On the 24th of December, you, the listeners, will be voting. Yes, I am actually going to get all the winners on the 24th to speak and state their case, and you will decide who will be your champion. Yes. So, as I said, you've got to be in it to win it. So, kids, you can self-nominate. If your mum and daddy, auntie, uncle, brother, sister don't want to nominate you, nominate yourself. I love that. And I had one young person that self-nominated herself. She was not waiting for nobody. Yes, Roche Hope. Now, if you haven't done so already, you can download the Supreme FM app from your app store. It's free of charge, and you can listen to it on the you can listen to Supreme on the go. Yes, on the go. Now, I have a few information for you. It's called the Man Van, right? It's a free men's health check. Now, I'm gonna you know, when you're not computer literate, or not too computer literate, yeah, you just have to show me something once. I just don't know how to do it. Somebody sent me this video, which is really, really good. It's for men. It's a platform for men, and I suppose it's a bit like the breast health check, you know, where they go around and yeah. So this is, it's a man's van, and it's based in It's starting off in Croydon, so it's going all around the place, but it's starting off in Croydon. I'll tell you more information about it later. And so, before I proceed any further, yes, you know what I like to do. I like to start my show off with a prayer. Yes, because we always have to start everything with a prayer. So if you just bear with, yes, so that I get my sister Sonia on for you.
Dear Lord God, Heavenly Father, as we come together again today to listen in to Spilling the Tea to Juliet G, I lift her up to you. Let it be, dear Lord God, that no weapons formed will prosper. So as she listens in and we listen in, and as her guest shares their experience with us and with her, continue to watch over them. Watch over Juliet G, watch over her guest, and continue to be with us throughout this coming week. We thank you for all the things that we've had the pleasure to be part of this week. And as we prepare for next week, and as we continue to learn from all that is shared today, let us give thanks and praise and glorify your name. Amen.
Happy feelings, everybody. Happy feelings. You know what? The sun is out and I am happy. In fact, we should all be happy. We should all be happy. We are blessed. Absolutely blessed. Welcome back to Spilling That Tea to Juliet G. Do you know what? I feel a little bit out of sorts. A little bit out of sorts. This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. I'm going to bring Lee on. Lee!
Good morning, Juliet.
Good
morning, everybody.
Good morning. Morning, Lee. How are you?
I'm okay, I'm okay. I'm a bit drowsy. I was out late last night.
Listen, you dirty stop out.
Yeah, I was out late, but I had a great time, so it was worth it.
Do you know what? You was in my old neck of the woods, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Redbridge.
Yes, that used to be my borough.
Okay, interesting.
Mm-hmm. How did you find it? Do you know, I looked at the picture and I didn't recognise not one person.
Oh, really?
I was scrutinising it hard. I was like, I don't know anybody.
Hey, but you know something? It would be hard to know anybody because I thought it was going to be like a group of older people. So there's people, a lot of them are there over 60.
Yeah.
And 70.
Uh-huh.
But they look so young.
They did.
Oh my gosh.
They did.
And I went with my preconceived ideas, you know. So I went to an organisation called the Association of Redbridge African Caribbean Communities.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't expect it to be like a group of retired people.
Do you know what?
So,
a lot of those people most probably are retired, but they look good
you're
for their
right.
age.
But you know, you have these stereotypes about what retired people look like.
Exactly. Old and
So I
wrinkly.
hear African Caribbean, I'm expecting to go there and see some obesity and walking frame and all these things. When I went there,
That's
Listen,
past.
there was nobody there beyond the size 12. And there was no man there that looked like he was a 36 waist. I was in shock. I spoke to one lady, and for some reason, she told me her age. She said that she's 67. I nearly fell onto my chair. Could not believe it. It was amazing. It was amazing to see how bright and chirpy and alert everybody was. It was really, really nice. And then I had them say we're gonna do some little exercising now, or little dancing. Don't worry, just like walking. When I went, they started playing soca, candy. Well, you know, I ain't got no rhythm and I got a bad back at the minute, so I couldn't really take part. But
that was
they
your
were
excuse,
rocking,
yeah?
I couldn't believe it.
And some of them have got back problems.
No, they're really doing well. But it's nice to see that there's these communities starting up, and I think they've been around since 2017. But the organisation is just formalising itself now, and you know they've got some real great objectives for that community.
Yeah.
And just raising awareness and giving people a sense of connectivity. They've got a walking group that meets once a week, and they just seem to know how to have a really good time. You know. So I was there. It was a social evening. So from 7 o'clock, I got there about 1:45 because you know me, I'm early for everything. And it's supposed to finish at 10, but I think minutes to 11, I was just putting up my post to drive out the car park. Yeah, but it was a really lovely evening, and I'm going to be doing some work with them with my Macmillan hat on. So they're trying to set up a support group for people who are living with cancer.
Okay.
Which was amazing, and it was an idea that their board had in general when they were meeting their executive committee about the things they want to do around health and so forth, and that's how I got put in touch with them. But after I did my presentation for about 10 minutes and we were there bursting into laughter, or busting out in laughter, a couple of ladies came and spoke to me and shared that they had experiences with, they were actually living with cancer themselves.
Wow.
And nobody in the group knew. So it goes back to that story of us
keeping
being
things
so
to
secretive
self.
about our experience and the impact. And you know, one of the things I was sharing is the impact that can have. So, like for my own situation, I remember once having some problems going to the toilet and passing my urine, and I was really concerned about it. I think the level of the flow was what my concern was at the time, and I went to see my GP, and I'm like, look, I want to get tested. I want a PSA test. And the doctor said, well, do you have a history of cancer in your family? And I was like, no, I don't. There's no one in my family that's got cancer. He said, well, you're not even 45 yet, so I don't think you need to worry about this just now. There's a number of other things that you should consider. And that really disturbed me, because I'm like, boy, I suppose there was something wrong. And then
they put it
years on, I'm speaking to my mum and I'm saying, Mum, has anyone in our family died of cancer? No, no one. I said, that's funny, because I was speaking to my cousin and she said that
Uncle.
Uncle Raymond died of cancer.
Mm-mm.
Lo and behold, my mum's like, oh, yes, it's true. It's true. Then she told me her sister had breast cancer. Then this uncle had a water problem. And then this uncle, so there's actually an issue of cancer in my family. There's a history of it. And had I known that information, I could have taken it to my GP and been giving them a realistic background of what my family history is like.
Yeah.
And I feel like because we're not in the habit of sharing within the Caribbean community about our experience.
And do you know what, Lee? That's not only the Caribbean community.
And
that
African, and beyond, any minority group.
Yeah. We're not
any minority group.
Yeah, we're not very good at sharing these things, because it kind of like leads me on to the subject which I wanted to talk to you about, because you're quite a champion for Macmillan, and the reason why I'm raising this is on Wednesday, Dame Deborah James passed away of bowel cancer, and it got me thinking, and the work she started and promoted, and like checking your poo. Excuse me, sorry to the people that are having their breakfast right now, but it has to be spoken about. And I kind of it got me thinking, do you check your poo? I'm just asking you, do you check yours?
You know what? I check it so far that my wife says I'm nasty.
Do you know what? I don't think it's nasty. I check all the time. I'm sorry, but you have to. It has to be done. You have to, because that's the only way that you'll be able to find out what is going on with your bowels.
One time, I had tapeworm.
Oh, really?
And the only reason I picked it up was because I was checking.
So what did you see? Did you see a worm?
I saw like this little. It's almost like a worm moving around in my stools.
Ooh.
Moving around long, and there's like 6 of them I could see. It freaked me out.
6?
It's about 6 of them. And when
How much poo did you do for there to be 6 in there?
They weren't big. They were little things, but they were moving up the way that the I'm guessing this is years and years and years ago.
Hey, but Lee, stick a pin in it. We're coming up to that all important break. We'll continue after. Welcome back to Spilling That Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. And I would just like to say this show is sponsored by Fine Boy Inc. and Thami Quest, the UK's #1 black entertainment company. And I am now in conversation with Lee Townsend, and we are talking about poo. Do you check your poo? Right? Because bowel cancer is on the increase. Do you know what, Lee? I was thinking that is it because I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we was saying how she was saying how certain diseases, like certain illnesses, are on the increase, and I said no, it's not on the increase, it's just that they didn't know what it was.
Right.
Yeah, because all those things most probably was there from time, like bowel cancer, lung cancer, throat cancer, breast cancer, all of them.
I'm sure a lot of them were. I think some. I'm not sure about. Well, obviously I'm not a clinician. I think there are some things that will develop over time. But you're right. I reckon a lot of these things, if not the majority, have existed, but just were undiagnosed.
So anyway, we were talking about checking your poo. And would you know what the early signs of bowel cancer is?
Let me just be very clear. First of all, I'm not a clinician.
Well,
so
listen.
I work.
I'll tell you. Bowel.
No, I can tell you some of them, but I just need to do that disclaimer because I don't want anyone to think that, you're getting medical advice.
No,
from
no,
Lee
no, no,
Townsend.
no. It's not giving medical advice.
Cool.
We are not
Mhm.
giving medical advice. These are
Cool.
things these are early signs of bowel cancer.
So some of
Because it's from, what's her name? Dame Deborah James's, she used to have
that
this
blog.
yeah. And
Mm.
it's the word bowel. And B stands for blood in the poo or your bottom. O stands for obvious changes in your bowel habit.
Mhm.
W stands for weight loss, unexplained. So if you have unexplained weight loss, E is for the extreme tiredness for no apparent reason. And L is for a lump or pain in your tummy. So if you have blood in your poo, obvious change in your bowel habits, weight loss, unexplained weight loss, extreme tiredness for no apparent reason, and a lump or pain in your tummy, go immediately to your GP, if not 111 or A&E.
But there's some other things as well, though. There's like what's it called? Unexplained weight loss, which you said, but also tummy and back pain.
Tummy,
Things like and back pain. Like if if you can't pick up, you've got a back pain that's going on, it's persisting. It's worthwhile checking out because that could be an indicator. Not just bowel cancer, also other types. But the other thing as well is like if you're bloating, if you're experiencing bloating for 2 weeks or more, you need to see the GP and to speak to them about these things. And I feel like a lot of times what happens, there are early indicators. You know when our body doesn't feel right. Sometimes you might go to your GP and your GP say, no, everything's okay, but within yourself it's not. Sometimes you have to challenge it. Because when your body's not feeling right, you've got these abnormal feelings and they don't feel comfortable. It's cause to speak to your GP on any account because cancer's not the only thing that we should be checking and looking for.
No.
And that's why, we speak about worse healthcare outcomes for people of color, for minority ethnic groups. Part of it is because of the challenges that we face as a people, but some of it is because of our own ignorance. So this reluctance to go and see a GP. And I know the lines turn us off, and because you've got to get to work and you could spend the whole day just trying to get through on the phone, it almost pushes us away from wanting to go. It discourages us. But the reality is that there's nothing more important than our health. Your health is your wealth.
Exactly. And that's the only thing that you've actually got. If you don't have good health, there's that work that you're trying to hustle, you ain't gonna go, love. Because you can fall down any day, and what you're trying to avoid is gonna happen.
Yeah, so these things are really, really important to really, man.
Yeah.
And I feel like, not just bowel cancer, but other types, persistent coughs should be checked, And it's not just things like cancer that we're thinking about, but, you could have pneumonia for all you know, developing signs of it. And you're persistently coughing down the place and having shortness of breath and not paying it any mind. And so many people during the pandemic died because of these things and because they didn't follow up. They didn't try and speak to their GP. Some of them couldn't get to speak to a GP, but in some cases, it's an issue where they never even made any effort in the first place.
And yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's really challenging, but the best thing that we can do is stay informed. One of the things that really pleased me with last night at Tarek is that people were really glad to take these Samsung Z cards that I had with me. I bought a big pile of them and they all went. People were taking it for their friends, but usually...
What's the red card?
A Z card. So a Z card is like a bit bigger than an Oyster card.
Yeah.
But it's one of those leaflets that when you unfold it, it's actually an A4 piece of paper with information on it going away on both sides. Yeah, so they're really helpful. And these are things that Macmillan's got a website called b.macmillan.org. And on that website, all of our leaflets, fact sheets and stuff, you can order in whatever quantity you want for free. And we'll actually post them to you for free. So there's no reason for organizations and individuals not to have information nowadays.
Yeah.
Clearly, the stuff is available on our website, but and you can speak to a Macmillan professional online. But generally speaking, everything that you could want is on our website that you can get to. But you can also speak to people on the phone between 8 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock in the evening. Our phone lines are open and they're free of charge to call.
So no excuse.
It's so weird. Usually when I come on the radio, I go places and do talk outside of work. I try not to mention work and I just keep it totally separate. But today it just feels like it's
work.
Yeah, it works.
I brought you there because, like, even on Thursday, I went for a breast screening. And ladies, when you have to ask yourself, when is the last time that you went for a screening or even checked your breast? And that even goes for men, because men recently have been diagnosed with breast cancer. So, as they say, check your boobs, ladies. It was an uncomfortable experience, but not painful, you know. So I would just say that it's just a couple of minutes of uncomfortableness, but and it doesn't actually take very long. I think I was in and out there most probably 10-15 minutes, if that.
Right.
And the thing is, they give you an appointment. They're expecting you because they've got to sanitize after, innit? So you know. So I went to the mobile unit, did my thing. They took the X-rays, put my breast on this plate thing, crushed it down, took the X-rays, and then I was out there. 10 minutes of your life could save you. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lee, have you heard of Man Van?
Yeah, I have indeed.
I knew that you would. I didn't think, because it's apparently it's in your area, isn't it? It's a free men's health check, which is currently visiting workplaces and community groups around London, and it's starting off in Croydon. It's a free health check for men to boost early diagnosis of prostate cancer and a range of other health conditions. I would like to say, if you go onto my Insta or Facebook page, you can check it out. But I will post it up once I know how to.
Okay. Yeah, that van, they're also looking for other sites so they can put it where men can access it. But the issue with it, they say van, but it's a massive.
Is it a
really
big van? Have you seen it?
I've seen a picture of it. It's almost like one of the mobile units, almost like something that you see on the back of a trailer almost. Or like it's really large. It's really large. So I think it might have 6 wheels.
Okay.
If my memory serves me correct, but it's big. It's not like a little van that a plumber might have.
Well, have you seen the breast unit ones?
No. Let me do a quick Google. But I know that it's big, so it's not everywhere that it can actually park. So you couldn't just park it up anywhere there's parking on the road per se for people.
So could they park it up in a car park, like a
Yeah. You can put it in a car park, but obviously you need the necessary permissions and so forth. But they're open to going where people are. It's all about making it more accessible.
Well, they could go on high street. No, I suppose that people wouldn't want to go into a high street, but like a little side road, isn't it? I suppose.
Little side road wouldn't work for the size of the vehicle. It could be obstructing and health and safety and those things. So I think one of the issues they have is finding suitable places to park it.
Well, why don't they park in shopping centres?
As I said, they've just started it. It's a new project. I think the first place it has been tested is in Croydon, and it's been run by, if I remember correctly,
the NHS, isn't it?
The CCG for South West London. I think it's South West London CCG, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a new project. Really cool. I think it's something similar to what Errol McKenna's working on with the
Yes, Errol's focuses on prostate cancer. Yeah. So, yeah. Lee, just a quick question. Are you a royalist?
I'm royalty.
Are you into the royal family?
It's something I really follow up. I think that it's good for our tourism product in this country and that kind of a thing. but there's so many things that come with it.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm a bit indifferent towards it.
So what do you think about the allegation against Meghan regarding the bullying members of her staff? And after investigating, apparently the palace have refused to publish findings as an olive branch. You have to laugh. What do you think?
Well, me personally, you know, I ain't got no time for business in their business, you know. It's like soap operas. I don't watch Coronation Street and EastEnders and Brookside and them foolishness there. I ain't got
There's
no time
no
for it.
Brookside, love. Brookside done long
I
time.
wouldn't even know because I'm not in that. I don't watch TV.
Mm.
I don't watch
Well, you're
TV,
not home to watch TV.
That's not true. My kids will tell you, not the news again. So, but for me personally, if it's there, why invest so much money in it if you're not going to share it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's an olive branch. I feel let's name and shame, man. Let's shame Meghan because Meghan and Harry were happy to do it to anybody else. Why protect her now? Shame her,
But
man.
what if there is?
Evidence.
But what if there was no shaming? But what if there was no shaming?
I'm talking my sarcastic voice.
I know.
If you have something that can shame her. Let's bring it on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's my exact sentiment. You know.
But personally, what's that magazine called where you get all the gossip on rap artists and celebrities and stuff in America?
TMZ.
Yeah, I ain't got no time for the TMZ lifestyle, so I don't really care what's happening with them, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay, changing the subject. Schools are breaking up in a matter of weeks, and it's now sports day season. Firstly, I saw that you have been to Naomi's sports day. Listen, I was trying to look hard, right? Because that video went so quick, right? I was like, "Where's Lee?" Because you said you were the winner. I couldn't actually see who the winning father was.
At the finish line, you see someone with their hands up in the air, 2 gun fingers.
Hold on, did you run in? Did you actually partake? Or was that halfway through?
Was that half of the what?
Halfway through the race.
You see, you don't read my posts on social media. It says, not when you start, it's when you finish. It's now it's sports day, and I see my wife says she's not taking part, and I see some young guys in tracksuit with chest muscle and all.
Well, firstly, I saw, was that the first time?
Yeah, it's my first sports day because I'm COVID and stuff, so I've missed them all.
Oh, okay.
They had a private one last time that parents couldn't attend.
Mm.
So this is my first one, but yeah, I was there screaming. You know what? The only regret I had, and I think my wife would have been upset with me if I went. I wanted to carry my Dutch pot cover.
You wanted to what?
Spoon, my Dutch pot cover and my metal spoon to go on up there and bang it down and a whistle, foghorn.
And you know what? For the people that were there, I think that it would have been quite fitting.
I feel that if I had done that, boy, they'd have banned me from the school.
No, Naomi would have been like, "Dad, can you bring the Dutch pot cover again, please?"
No, she'd have been embarrassed, but I really wanted to go out there Jamaican style, you know?
Mm-mm.
It was nice. It was a nice little day. It's good to see. Well, you know what was really nice? What blessed my heart?
What?
To see so many fathers out. It was like a 60-40 ratio with more mothers, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's so good to see such a strong representation of fathers there.
That's good.
It was really, really good, you know?
Mm. When you were younger, were you sporty? Were you a sporty person?
I came last in everything. I think my biggest success was 3rd place in a race one time. And if I knew you didn't get a medal for 3rd place, I would have probably run a bit harder to get 2nd. But yeah, sports wasn't really my thing. I was fat, man. They used to call me Fatso and tease me when I was in primary school.
Did your parents attend sports day?
My dad attended everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my dad attended everything. He had a time. He ran his own business, so he could afford to come when he wanted to and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my dad was there, man. He was present. He was present.
As for me, that was a real nopa. No. They only was interested in my academic achievement. And come on, you know, I'm Nigerian, so all my parents were interested in was your academic achievement. They come to my parents' evening and not sports day.
Juliet, my parents had no choice because if it was only academic achievement, they'd have nothing to celebrate. I've been shading for a long time.
So are you the type of parent that would practice beforehand. So if you was going to Naomi's sports day in future, are you going to practice beforehand
All right, so
so that you beat
when my
the other parents?
when my daughter goes to school, right, there's a long road, the length of the schoolyard that you have to walk up, and then you turn right, and then you walk down another bit to get to the gate. So also, like on one road where you're kind of safe, you're on the pavement, innit? So from Naomi was 4, turning 5, going to school, I would make her run along that by herself, and the place covered with people, and I'd say, just be bold, say excuse me and go through, 'cause we don't have no fear. And I'd just say, go Naomi, go Naomi, go. Leaders don't quit or something like that. So it's a long distance to run as a child. And when I'm cheering her, and I'm shouting, we don't quit, all the parents are looking at me like I'm mad. And this little girl would run round all the way to the gate, non-stop. And when she reaches the side, I can't even see her, but I know there's parents there and there's no car can go on that road.
Yeah.
I know she's safe. So she just runs and runs and runs. So I've been training her from day one. I've been training, but they don't do long distance running yet. But when that time comes, I don't think they're gonna be able to touch her.
She's I see a Serena Williams here.
It's only because she has too many activities why she hasn't joined Croydon Harriers, which is the athletics team in Croydon.
Yeah.
She wanted to do it, but she has maths class on that day, so she does something 6 days a week. So there ain't no more space. But she's on it, man. And the thing about it for me is, I didn't like running. I still don't. And I struggle. I realized how much of it is mental. So I use the running as an analogy to say that no matter how hard something is, if you stick to it and keep fighting, you can make it to the end. So that's why I keep pushing her. When we walk to school all the way and I don't drive, she has to run up the hill.
Oh, is it hilly?
It's a massive hill. And my girl will run. And it doesn't matter how slow you go, as long as you're moving. And I just push her. I think, you had Damien Scannell on your program once.
Yeah.
So it's sort of the approach that I see Damien will be. Damien's son is the fittest student in his age group you will ever find. I know,
I've seen him.
Football skills. He just started playing football the other day. He's man in the match all the time. But, I'm reading a book at the moment called 10X Law, or the 10X Rule. And it says, if you want to win, you got to do what other people are not prepared to do. That's the only way you can have that competitive edge. Like, even with karate and Naomi, I'm like, boy, you know what? I don't want to hear that you haven't practiced. When I come home from work or wherever it is I'm coming from, and I ask you, have you done your... First thing you should be saying me is, of course. But I was thinking about it, I haven't started. I don't want to hear that. You need to do that every day. You got your kata. You do each of them 4 times. There's no negotiation. I know she'll hate me for it, but in the long run, she will thank me. That tough love, boy.
It's true. Do you believe that sports day should be about first, second, and third place rather than working together as a team, or should it be a bit of both?
A bit of both, but obviously you have to celebrate first, second, and third. Like yesterday, Naomi came first in one race and second in another. I mean, and even if she come last, I'm celebrating that same way.
Exactly.
If she came last, you were the best.
She would have what?
I would have said to her, you were the best in that race. I saw the way that you stood up. I saw your posture. I saw your mindset was, and you did exactly what I said. When you were running, all you thought about was the finish line, nothing else. If you even fell over, you'd have got back up because you were focused on the finish line, just like I told you. And she gets a reward for participating and making an effort and all the rest of it. So today, I've got to make some humongous smoothie. Although food shouldn't be the reward, but she has asked me for a smoothie, so I'm going to make sure I sort that out for her when I get back in from the retreat I'm going to.
Oh, bless her. Do you think Sports Day teaches children to be competitive?
Yeah, if it doesn't, what else would? You should have heard her house came second to last.
Oh, are they all put in houses?
Yeah. So she's in yellow house.
Okay. So where
blue, sorry, she's in blue.
Blue house.
Yeah, just pushing her, they all put in houses, they came last, not to worry about it, you did what you could for the team.
Exactly.
And what's important is that you made the effort, you guys stood up and you represented yourself, so people have to respect you because you tried. But you know what? There's this young man I want to tell you about. How much time have we got left?
We got about 2 minutes.
The whole program.
No. No, we've still got an hour.
Okay, cool. I can live out that off. That's fine.
We're actually coming up to that all important break. So you know what? As I say, stick a pin in it, Lee. Stick a pin in it, and we'll talk about it after the break. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. But also, I want to talk about Parents' Evening.
Oh, I love those, you know.
Yeah, I want to talk about Parents' Evening. How important do you think it is for both parents to attend Parents' Evening? Okay.
Let's talk about the pre-prep.
Huh?
Pre-prep for Parents' Evening. Pre-prep for Parents' Evening.
Well, we'll talk about it after the break, yeah? Because I got some really interesting questions that people have asked me.
Okay.
Okay. All right, then. Do you know what? I was looking at time. Either I'm wishing time away. I don't know.
Sure.
I must be wishing time away because, Anyway, welcome back to Spilling That Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. Shout out to my sponsors, Fineboy Inc. and Thami Quest, the #1 community. Excusez-moi. Gosh, I am really the #1 black entertainment company. Oh, wow. What is wrong with my brain? What's wrong with my brain? Oh, my days. I just start...
Have you had your Weetabix?
No, I haven't. It's too early in the morning. Do you know what? If I tell you, if I have Weetabix this early in the morning, it's going to make me POO.
Okay.
So that's not happening.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't eat this early in the morning. It's too early for me.
Oh, wow.
I can't eat. You know, I don't break my fast until about 10, after 10. And that will be just a little snack and a little, what's that? Actimel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what I break my fast. Yeah, that's what I have. So, yes, Lee, we was we were talking about
You're not about Parents' Day. I'll tell you about a young man named Malachi Reed, but let's go with Parents' Day first.
No, you go ahead and tell us about Malachi.
So Malachi is an amazing young man who's just finished his A-levels. I think he's just finished his A-levels. So what happened to Malachi is he was born with cerebral palsy, but a very unique kind that left him unable to walk. And while he was at school, he'd be out with his friends, and while they're playing, all he could do is referee, or he'd just cry when he sees everyone running up and down, and he couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But his mother, Colleen, and her husband were just the most tenacious people you could ever find, and they just said that this is not my son's portion.
Mm-hmm.
And together with their community of New Addington, where the actual man van's being parked, and New Addington is a community that has a really negative reputation. People think of it as the worst. It's a neglected part of the borough, and all you hear is negative stigma about it, about crime, about racism, about people not caring, and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady fundraised probably about 30K, maybe more, towards getting her son flown to the US to go to a special hospital that specialized in this special treatment, where they worked in his spine or whatever else it was, until, with the aid of crutch supports and stuff, he can now walk around and is now independent. Has gone on past all these exams and stuff, and is just living a fruit. Someone who could have easily have been bound in a chair and not doing much and living such an unfulfilled life, but just to see how the community came together. Then I think, got a lottery that they run every week.
Mm.
I think you pay something like £5 and you could win 6 from your number being coming out like a single number. And that's the kind of thing that they did in the community to fund the operation over the period of time. But it's the most amazing story. It's featured in the Times. Everyone picked up on it. But it's such a beautiful thing to see this guy. I heard this story when he was about 8.
Mm.
And now seeing how he's progressed and stuff is just so amazing. And I just think, like, no matter where you live, whoever's listening to this, no matter where you live, no matter what your community is or what the reputation that people try to peg on it, you know, that doesn't have to be your portion. The community can come together and you can change those narratives, man. And I think Malachi's experience or story is a real testimony of the strength of a community and how we can really cause miracles to happen, I guess.
What area is he?
He's in Croydon, he's in New Addington.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Lives right in New Addington. And it's a really nice story. Really, really nice story. And I guess I'm not giving it to you in its fullness, but it's worth Googling Malachi Reed Croydon and seeing what comes up, because it's so inspirational. So inspirational. What's happening with Parents' Evening now?
Right. I want to talk to you about Parents' Evening. How important do you think it is for both parents to attend Parents' Evening? Because I know that when I was growing up, it was either my mum or my dad. You know, it was very rare that you got them both because of work commitments back then.
I think it's even more challenging now because people are having to work 0-hour contracts and all these things, so you don't have the stability of saying, can I get an hour for work, or I'm leaving early, or I'm taking annual leave.
Do you know what? Do you know the funny thing is that Parents' Evening nowadays is well, they call it Parents' Evening. I reckon it's Parents' Afternoon, because it's kind of like just after school, innit? After school hours. So it's after.
No, my school. There's a timetable. Everyone gets 10-minute blocks. I think it starts like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
And goes up to about 8.
Yeah. But then they say because the teachers have been at school all day. But, you know, back in our days, it was in the evening. You know, Parents' Evening was in the evening. And, yeah, you saw... I'm trying to think. They saw all the teachers? Yeah. And because all the teachers will be in the hall, and then they'll go to each... some kids would get beat down by their parents, and you would look and your parents, if you were with your parents then, you could tell whose parents were strict from whose kids could get away with anything at Parents' Evening. Because you always had that parent that would say, if there's any problem with my child, you just let me know. Call me. I will deal with my child. And all the teacher had to say was, if the person's name was Johnny or Tony or Derek, it would be like, Derek, I'm going to call your mum. It'd be like, no, sir, because they know the beatings that they'll get. Because it was kind of like the shame.
You know what? I think it's a dangerous precedent, though, to set. I would never tell no kid, no teacher, give them the impression that at their core.
Not now. No, not now.
A lot of these teachers are not mature. They're not mature. They're kids, or their mentality is the mind of a child. They're vindictive. They're spiteful. You know, so I can't set my child up. And I feel like when it comes down to the parents, we have to remember that school and education is about partnership. So when we're talking about sports day and group activities and stuff, that's what education is, and that's what Parents' Evening is. So for me, I feel like, you remember I talked about the pre-prep for the Parents' Day? So let's start with the first thing that you raised about the time that these meetings are taking place. Parents have to have a voice. So if you want your school to run a certain way for your child to have the best opportunity, then you try and get on the school board. Because where we have influence, we can instigate change. So if it's not working out the time of day that they're having it, surely the board can, or the Parent Teachers Association can petition the teachers or the school administration and say, look, this is not feasible for the parents that we have here. If we're trying to get maximum results for these children, we need to do it at a time that's conducive for parents to attend.
But then, you know, but they do. Lee.
This is the way I think. I would rather the schools take another one of those days where they close the school down so that teachers can do whatever they're doing. I'd rather we give them another one of those days a year, and we have the parents meeting on a Saturday for those parents who need it. It would make more sense to me.
But not all parents can come on a Saturday, though.
Oh my gosh!
Hello?
Sorry, Juliet, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that was my bad. Yeah, so that would make more sense.
Not all parents can come on a Saturday because some parents work.
No, I'm not saying as the only day, but I'm saying if you need to put an alternative in to make it possible for a greater number of parents. So let's say you have your parents' day on a Tuesday, but you find out that in the school a lot of parents are not turning out. You might need to try a Saturday, because if you do the same thing over and over and expect a different result, that's the definition of insanity.
But they did used to have parents' evening either on a Tuesday. They have it twice. Like on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and they kind of gave parents slots. So it was down to your child. Because I remember my son, once I got that slip, because he thought that if he didn't give me the slip, then I wouldn't come. Little did he know, once I knew it was parents' evening, I was ringing up the school, mate. You know, can you send me? And they'll be like, yeah, we've sent it. We've given it to Calvin. So I'll do... Right, Calv, where's the form? That's when it'll come out. Because he thought that if I didn't know about it, I wouldn't go. You know? But, you know, like, parents talk. That's what kids forget. Parents talk to each other. You know? So that's how they know.
Our school, for our class, we've got a WhatsApp group.
Mm.
I'm what, my parent rep or something like that. So so now I've got to organise a collection of money for end of year gifts for the teachers. I'm gonna set that up today. Yeah, we've got a very strong network at our school with the parents. It's really lovely to see how we kind of bond. I think it all kind of stimulates from the parties that you all get invited to, and you have the gel with who you're gelling with. But yeah, I think it's important for both parents to be at the parents' evening where it's possible.
And
you know,
if parents don't get along, should the school be obligated to send a parent or a parent's evening report to the non-attending parent? This question was posed by a listener. So
that boils down to a question of custody, doesn't it? Who's got the right to it? So if it's joint custody, then the school will be, in my mind, which would be obliged to send it to both parents. But if a sole parent has custody, then it's on the sole parent that should receive that. Because otherwise, that's GDPR issues, isn't it? For data protection. So yeah, I think both parents should. I feel like sometimes as well, we have people who are co-parenting who just love to complain but don't like to do.
Yeah.
So if you're the second parent but the child is with the mother most of the time, then as a father, you need to go down to the school and say, look, I'm not sure if you've been informed, but my wife and I, my ex-wife or the child of the mother of my child and I are separated, but we have joint custody. Here's the paperwork.
But what if you don't have? Hold on. What if you don't have parental? Because you that person could be your ex-partner, as in you're not married, so you don't have parental responsibility, but that is your child. Yeah.
But that's you to negotiate with either the other parent of your child.
But if you don't get on,
and if you can't do it through them, then you do it through the courts. Everything else is just blowing smoke in the air, isn't it? It doesn't make sense shouting and screaming and you can't get a result. You go through the courts. You see me, I'm a firm believer, you know. Any woman who has a child with a man and the man's not supporting the child, you take them to court. I'm a firm believer in it. A firm believer. If the man can't stand up by himself,
take him to court for what? What is it?
Child support.
Huh?
For child support.
You don't need to take him to court for child support. Child support will come for him anyway. All you have to do is just go to child support. You don't need to go to the courts. You just go to child support.
The point I'm just trying to raise is that it doesn't make sense arguing and having these debates. There's channels in which you can go through to get things done.
But child support is just about money. Yeah, I'm talking about the parent being present for the child, as in
I,
attending
I
parents' evening.
understand what you're saying, but what I'm trying to do is give an example of the fact that you need to work with whatever system exists to get the result that's in the best interest of your child. So the child support is one example of a system that exists that you can access if there's a problem. You shouting and screaming at your partner saying you need to do better, why are you not supporting your child, is a waste of energy.
Yep, I totally agree. Right,
And the same thing with the reports. Arguing about I need to receive the report. Why are you not giving me my child? That's a waste of energy. I just get a solicitor. I'll go court if I can afford it.
And if you can't afford it, what happens?
You can try mediation. If you're a part of a faith group, you can try the religious leaders and see if they can assist you. You can speak to the grandparents and say, look, I know I'm not together with
What
your
if the
daughter.
grandparents don't like you?
Do you know what? After that, you have to just pray in it. But at the end of the day, I work with a lot of fathers who are going through rough times.
I know.
And I say to them, look, all you can do is exhaust every avenue that exists to make it right, no matter how hard it is. Once you've exhausted everything, make sure you have evidence of that. Because when your child comes of age, you will be able to show, look, son, or look, daughter, princess, I tried. It's not for want of trying, but it didn't make sense me getting loud or physical or being disrespectful. I went through the proper channels. I tried to address it, but unfortunately, your mother or your father put up a barrier and they refused to grant me access. You know, that's all you can do. You can only do your best. And I'm never going to encourage anybody to drop their standards because somebody wants to play silly buggers with their child. Because as far as I'm concerned, you can't love your child and bar them from seeing their parents. And bar them parents from having a chance to help you raise them. I know it can be difficult, but the reality is that when you slept with the person, you stepped into that relationship and you put yourself in that scenario. So now you just have to deal with it as best you can. You can't just ignore it.
Just really quickly talking about there was a video going around about this woman who put her ex-partner on blast, you know, about the McDonald's, the McDonald's gate.
The two of them are worthless.
Yeah.
I think the two of them are worthless. If the guy could afford to buy the food for the kids, I think he's worthless, because I would want to create a Cinderella environment for my child, where once my child feels like they're great and all the rest are the ugly sisters or
but
whatever.
Apparently, the story goes that because the story goes that she came on social media because people were blasting her, and so she kind of like wanted to set the thing straight, to let people know that when they were together, he was doing for all the children, not just all the children. Now that he's no longer with the mother, he is now just concentrating on his child, which for me is petty.
You remember my original statement that the two of them are worthless? If he had the means, and he thought that was appropriate to do that, just to basically spite the children because whatever reason, then he is worthless. But
and that's what I'm saying, that he was doing already for the children, all of the children. It's best that you don't single out one child. I know that's your child, but really bringing McDonald's, what, $1.99? Come on.
But isn't that as well? First of all, I'm not really a fan of any. I'm not telling anybody how to parent. I'm just talking about my standards. I don't really have much confidence in anybody who's giving their children McDonald's in this day and age. Personally, raw food. You know what I mean? My kids don't know what chips and McDonald's and them fast foods they taste like, right? But that's my standard. The other thing is that I think is important. I want to raise. Remember, I said that I think the two of them are worthless if he could afford to and he was not. But the woman is worthless because of her behaviour. She doesn't care if her kids were hearing that kind of foul language. She's behaving like a pig. It was disgusting, and I only engaged with that video and saw it because it was a topic that was raised in the Fathers Forum's WhatsApp group, and someone said, if you haven't seen the video, I can share it. And I said, share it then. And when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I just made my comment and left, because that's that TMZ lifestyle, and I ain't got no time for that.
For me, I just felt like it was petty, you know, and at the end of the day, for me, it's the children that I feel sorry for, you know. It's the children that I feel sorry for.
Yeah, and even when she snatched the stuff and threw it down on the floor and everything, what kind of disrespect is that? You know, I know she's going through a hardship, but there's no excuse, man. There's no excuse for that kind of behaviour.
Just going back to parents' evening, yeah, because I know that we got a little sidetracked. Do you think teachers should be 100% honest about your child? For example, your child has an issue making friends. Now, nobody likes them because the truth is your child is a bully, right? But the teacher kind of like says, oh, your child has an issue making friends, instead of saying, well, you know, the reason being is because your child is a bully.
You know what? If my child is a bully and my teacher tells me that my child has difficulty raising friends, I think that teacher needs to go on a disciplinary. Because first, I think a teacher that tells me that my child has a difficulty making friends when the real issue is that my child is bullying people at the school, that teacher needs to go on a disciplinary.
That teacher doesn't what?
They need to be on a disciplinary. They need to be chastised by the school. There needs to be some sort of punishment or retribution for the teacher.
Why?
If my child is a bully, that's a problem. That's a serious, major issue. And you're watering it down. You're watering it down and hiding it from me by telling me that my child has difficulty making friends. That's a totally different story. How can I deal with that? You're basically setting my child up to fail. Let's talk about even bigger problem. That's an outright lie. You know, for me, I just told my teacher. When I went to school, I told the teachers this: look, this is a partnership, and the only way it's going to work is if I put in as much effort as I know you're going to put in as a teacher. If there's an issue, we have to work through it together. You know, and if I'm not happy about something, I'm going to be the first to let you know. So I expect you to do the same thing. I don't always get it right.
Yeah.
But in my child, I'm always going to work towards that. So I expect my teacher to be honest with me. They should be trained to deal with those situations and explain that kind of needs to parents. And not even that. The school should have a program for parents and children that are in that scenario.
Maybe the teacher is... Because, you know, a lot of the teachers are quite young, aren't they?
Not necessarily.
And some of them might not be equipped to deal with some parents. Yeah,
but your ability to perform as a teacher is not based on your years of experience solely. It's about your training and the application of that knowledge.
Yeah, but...
So me, I'm sorry. And if you can't deal with something, that's what you have senior staff there for. I don't know how... Can you help me?
Yeah, that's true. There's a line of hierarchy. So there's people that they can go to get assistance and support from.
But you know what? As much as you see, like when you look at if we look at the baby, is it child Q? Is that what it's called? And that situation, I've been thinking about it lately, and I'm saying to myself, okay, this school has a problem, and obviously there seems to be some sort of the accusation amongst our community is that there's an institutionally racist issue within that school. So my question is, where were the parents of all of those children, and what were they doing within the school to help shape and change the culture? As far as I'm concerned, it's not enough for your child to go to the school and you attend parents' evening, you pay for your child to do extracurricular activities, and that's it. The school is a community. And I think every parent, all of us have annual leave. So if you can't be there on a regular basis, we must commit one day out of our annual leave to the school where our child attends.
True.
You know, so I think that at the end of the day, we have to take account for the fact that if we're not part of the solution, we're part of the problem.
Yes, Mr. Townsend.
Yeah, I just feel like we need to be more realistic, man. We can't just keep expecting people to do for us.
Yeah.
We have to do for ourselves.
Totally.
My daughter's school is by no means perfect, but my wife and I would... My wife is really shy, yeah? If you know her, she's cool, and you might not get that impression, but if you don't know her, she's really shy. But we spoke and we said that she has to get involved in the school. So her little contribution was they had gift wrapping for Father's Day, where children donated something to wear their own clothes to school.
Okay.
And then and then they would buy it back for £2. They buy it back for £2, but parents would come in and wrap the gift. My wife said, okay, she'll do 2 hours. When she went there, she saw that there were only like 5 parents doing everything. So she come back home and got her snacks or whatever it is that she needed to do, and she went back to the school and spent the entire day there.
Oh.
And wrapped up presents. So she's done her part. I'm more outgoing, so I will do more, but in a different way. So we all have to use our little skills that we've got. It could be even that you give up an hour to go in and read a book if it's the children in primary school on a particular day when they have that kind of activity taking place. But we all need to do something.
Representation is very important.
Not only that, it sends a message to your child. It helps to build your child's confidence and your child's knowing that.
Absolutely.
Know the teachers in the school so they can't fool around.
Lee, we are coming up to the all-important community break, so bear with, and we will come back after this. Welcome back to Spilling That Tea to Juliet G on supremefmlive.ning.com. This is the last segment of my show. Lee.
Juliet.
Lee! What can I say? Do you know what? I've got a question for you, yeah?
Go on then.
You're at parents' evening and you sense a teacher has an issue with your child, right? You sense. How would you deal with it?
Depends on how big the issue is. Sometimes you don't give. Sometimes people are like fire, you know. If you give them oxygen, they will burn you down. So you just leave them alone and let them stew in their own fat, man. Until.
But they have an issue with your child.
Until they have an issue with my child that becomes an issue for my child, I don't care.
But it is an issue for your child.
Why?
Because your child comes to you and tells you that this teacher keeps picking on me. Right?
Well,
so you now go to parents' evening and you sense it.
I don't know how I'm going to sense a teacher picking on my child in the parents' evening, but...
They just don't like your child.
If my child says they have a problem with a teacher, I need to investigate it because children are children. Children are children, and they can make up their stories, they can twist it, they can bend it, and there's 3 sides to every story. Child's side, the teacher's side, and the absolute truth. So I need to investigate it and find out what is what. I'm not going to jump up and say, oh, it must be this or it must be that and whatever else. And personally, if my child's having a problem with a teacher, I won't be waiting until parents' evening to resolve it. So, yeah, that would have to be resolved from before. And if I don't believe that I'm getting justice from the teacher, then I'll take it to the next stage up in the school system. Every school has a complaint procedure, you know. So I just follow the procedure to the T.
Yeah. Another question. Your child is very talented in sports and academics, yeah? They're both academics and sports, they're really good at. You go to the parents' evening, but the teachers are only interested in talking more about the child's sports achievement rather than their academics. You feel they're being stereotypical. How would you feel? And this is a situation. This is a listener's true situation. So the listener is listening for your response, Lee.
There's a number of ways. There's a number of ways in which you can deal with this.
Okay, go ahead.
But I would, if the conversation's not working that you're trying to have, you don't have to start that conversation. I would just write a letter and say, look, we're very concerned about the academic progress of our child. And our primary function for them being at the school is to develop academically and to ensure that they can make the next steps in terms of their academic pursuits. As a result of this, we are withdrawing them from representing the school in all sporting activities with immediate effect until we can have a meeting with the school to discuss a plan and program for our child that relates to their academics. If sports is so important and the school's getting awards and whatever else, then that's your bargaining chip, isn't it? If they ain't listening to reason, you just say, look, I'm going to withdraw the child from everything else. And the thing is that if the child is good at sports, that there's 101 things externally the child can do. So if they're representing at county level or whatever else, or nationally in a sporting activity, then they don't need to do it at school. You know, I look at this. I've got a friend who was really good at sports, and when he was doing track and field and stuff, they tried to get him to do every single event. And what it did is your body developed in different ways for different sports and activities, and it just damaged him. He ended up being a broken athlete because he didn't focus on one area and develop that. They were just concerned about their team winning in as many things as they could. Yeah, but I would never let that happen. Academics has to be the priority.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Well, in America, you have to do both. You can't just do academics. You have to do. I mean, you can't do just sports. You've got to do. Your grades have to be up there. If not, then you got to have extra lessons to make sure that it is. Otherwise, and if you fail, they kick you off the team.
Scholarships.
You know.
Scholarships and those. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
you know, there's so much. For me, I feel like there's so much more pressure. But however, it keeps their grades. That's why they're very articulate when they talk. The sports people. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway, changing the subject. Your barbershop. How's that going?
Unfortunately, I don't have a barbershop. But
Well, you know what I mean. What is it? The barbershop. What was it?
The barbershop project.
That's it.
I'm working on 2 barbershop projects, but the one I'm going to talk about today is with a charity that I do some consultancy work for called Off the Record. And Off the Record is a youth counselling charity that provides counselling for young people between the ages, I think it's 12 to 24. And we started a barbershop project there some time ago. I left the organisation and I now returned as an engagement consultant leading on the barbershop work. So we're doing some great stuff. So with it becoming the end of the school term, we're doing something called Trim and Grin. And what Trim and Grin is one of 2 things. It's two things, sorry. It has 2 different parts to it. So one is we offer free haircuts to young people in key locations. So coming up, we'll be using the Legacy Youth Zone to have an event where there'll be 2 barbers there cutting hair all day for free for those children whose parents consent to them getting their haircut. And it's just a way of giving back to the community and giving the young people a chance to have their haircut, to engage with the barbers and also members of our staff.
What area is this, Lee?
This is in Croydon and Merton, these ones. So Legacy's in Croydon.
Okay.
So Legacy is a massive youth centre, a state-of-the-art youth centre with everything there you could possibly think of that a lot of young people from right across the borough attend. So on that day, I think about 20 young people will get their haircuts. They'll get to engage with counsellors and outreach workers from Off the Record. And we'll just speak to them about our services, what's available to them, ask them questions about how they're dealing with the holidays, if they've got anything that they're worried about, that kind of a thing. And just get some kind of intel on where young people are, what their perspectives are, and how we can support them. And then we're replicating that over in Merton, near Collier's Wood, at a school called the Melbury College. And that's an alternative education provision for children who have had difficulties in mainstream school. So what we're doing there is we're providing a Trim and Grin that will take place there. The same sort of concept, but also giving the young people a chance to get to know the barbers, because one of those barbers, come September, will be delivering an 8-week introductory to barbering course.
Okay.
So we're hoping to stimulate these young people in thinking about learning a skill that could eventually become a profession for themselves and help them to generate an income. If formal education or going to university or whatever else maybe might not be an option for them, this could be something that they could pick up.
Or not only that, it could be another form of income because you could be going uni. You know,
but you know, the two of the barbers that I'm working with, they're both in their 30s. Both, not saying that they need to live the life this way. Both recently married. Both bought houses.
Excellent.
Both drive very nice cars. Both have very flashy shops. Great social media profiles and stuff, and it's wholly and solely from barbering. So one of the guys operates a barbershop called House of Bertrand. And Bertrand, he's an elite barber, so he only have one customer in his shop at any one time in his hair studio.
Okay.
It's strictly by appointment. He went to the university and did marketing and a business degree. I think he graduated with first class honours. And barbering is what he loves and it's what he does and it's what sustains him his lifestyle. Just had a son recently as well and doing great things. You have a barber, Jan. He has a shop as well, and he's got a little podcasting studio. He and I do a lot of work together around young people, getting young boys to read books and stuff. We've got a book club for young men that we run, and they're just doing really, really well. And I think it's about helping young people to recognise that barbering is actually a sustainable and profitable business.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't think a lot of people recognise that. For some of these barbers, I think their minimum haircut is £21.
Is it?
Starting point.
What is that? An adult?
It might even be a child, you know.
Really? What happened to once upon a time? It was like £5 a haircut.
Well, my barber, I've been on him for like 5 years to raise his prices, and he's only just raised it to £20 since the pandemic.
Wow.
You know that apart from maybe the Eastern Europeans and so forth, but most Caucasian hairdressers or barbershops, they're charging at least £25 to get your haircut minimum.
Wow.
And in America, if you go to America, you're looking at $30 for a haircut, and plus the barber's looking for a tip.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know any barbers in America that ain't driving the latest car and own a house.
They're doing well.
So it's a big industry. But yeah, we're doing these things to really engage with young people and stuff. And also, it's about the parents who might be struggling to pay for those haircuts as well. So the charity covers the cost of it. And we use it as a means of really just engaging with young people. There's a lot of young people going through hurt and pain. And the barbers, generally in their places where they operate, they have these referral cards that they give. They're about the size of a Oyster card, and it has different services that people can plug into. It's both for young people and adults. So you'd say, like, check out number 4 if you're having issues with your rent or you're facing an eviction, and these people will be able to help you. Someone might come in and be sharing stuff about trying to access disability benefits and being declined. There's another charity called Charity Access we can refer them to, who will actually appeal that personal independence payments or support application that they put into their local authority to ensure that they get what they're entitled to by the state. So, you know, it's really cool the way that these barbers are engaging with people, but also and the support that they're able to provide. You know,
barber shops are like hairdressers. You know, like they, you know, they're very, very community orientated because people always 100%. Have to go and get their hair cut.
100%.
Haircut or go to the hairdressers, go and get their hairs done.
So we've got a group of barbers called the BAME Barbers Network. I know it's not your term, but yeah, that's what it's called. And there's a GP within the WhatsApp group. So whenever someone comes into the shop with some sort of issue, the barbers can send a voice note to the GP in the group, and within 48 hours, he'll give them a response. And that allows them to then go back to their clients and say, look, I spoke to one of my friends who's a GP, and he suggested that you go to A&E as soon as possible, or he's suggesting that you go to your pharmacy and have your blood pressure checked, or whatever it may be.
Do you know what? I love that because, like, that's quite innovative. I can't even say the word.
Innovative.
That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's really creative. You know.
Yeah, it's nice. And we've got a load of them just signed up to do a mental health first aid course.
Wow, that's
in the
brilliant.
coming up months. And we've got another project that we're running with them called we've called the whole project Trim and Grin. So we're launching a set of podcasts talking to young people about various issues. So there's this young man over in Bristol who was facing deportation, even though he's been in England since he was 4 years old. And he's actually a barber himself, so he's going to come down and join us on the podcast, and we're going to talk about immigration status, the Windrush thing, and how that affects young people. So young people whose grandparents are at risk of being deported, or they don't have a status, and how they deal with that stress, and just letting people know that Off the Record is somewhere where you can come and access counselling if you're a young person between the ages of 12 to 24.
How can they what's the contact details?
So Off the Record is their website is let me just look at it quickly because I'm bad, you know. Hold on. So bad, sorry.
You have stopped driving, haven't you?
Yeah, long time.
Oh, okay.
Looking at it now. And the worst thing is that I got an email, you know.
So it's off the record.
Yeah, I'm just looking for. Oh gosh. Okay, so the website is Talk Off the Record.
Oh, it's called Talk.
The website is called talkofftherecord.org, but the charity is called Off the Record.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we offer counselling. We offer online counselling as well, so they can do it through like a chat kind of a thing, a digital thing. We also run the Young Carers Project in Croydon, so we support young carers, and then we have several different outreach projects and stuff. I've just rejoined the organisation in April, so today I'm at a staff away day, so I've been more in tune with the various other projects. So the organisation has almost tripled in size in terms of numbers recently.
Yeah.
So I've been more aware of their projects and stuff that they're delivering from the other teams today. But generally speaking, I work as a lone ranger, so to speak, engaging with the barbers and getting that project running.
Brilliant. Lee, how can the listeners get in contact with you?
With me?
Well, if they want to talk to you or message you regarding anything that you've mentioned today.
I think Instagram is probably the easiest place to reach me. I am Mr. Townsend. So if you look out for I am Mr. Townsend on Instagram, or if you just Google Lee Townsend, a website or my Facebook or something will come up. Lee Townsend Croydon, and you can pick up those from there rather than me trying to read off everything. But Instagram, I am Mr. Townsend. If you can follow, that would be great, and just drop me a DM.
Follow, like, and share.
Aye.
Share the love. Is there anything you'd like to add before I let you go, Lee?
Yeah. Today's a beautiful day, isn't it? So
amen to that.
I think all of us just need to be beautiful in our own right.
We are beautiful.
Take a deep breath, recognize how great and how wonderful you are.
I'm amazing.
7 o'clock this morning, Emily was telling me this, so I'm going to encourage you to say it as well. I'm bold, I'm beautiful, I'm brave.
I'm bold, I'm beautiful, and I am brave.
Yes, just live it, man. Live it. Have a great day.
Yes. Thank you so much, Lee. You know I can speak to you for hours and hours and hours and hours, and I even give you your flowers. Do you know what? I better stop because I feel like I'm going to break out into a song. Beyonce. Lee, what's your plans after the show?
I'm at a retreat all day, so I'm going to go to, my wife hears this show, I'm in problems, you know. I'm going to the Breakfast Club to go and have breakfast. And then I'm going to go to
a retreat.
Yeah, for the entire day with the staff from Off the Record.
Okay. That's brilliant. You have an amazing day. Carry on being beautiful. Carry on being bold. Carry on
being brave.
Yeah.
All right, take care. Bless you.
And you take care, Lee. Bye. Bye. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, keep it supreme with me, your host, Juliet D. #spilling that tea. Next week, guess what? I am going to be in conversation with a young man called Samuel Ekinwin. And he was a maths teacher, but now he is a property investor. Maths teacher, property investor. Do the maths. Okay, so don't forget to set your alarm clocks from now because you truly do not want to miss this. He is going to be dropping some gems. So if you have any property questions that you would like me to ask him, you know what to do. Just DM me. That's on my Instagram. Yeah, and you know what you can do? You can follow me on Instagram, Spilling the Tea to Juliet G, to keep updated with what's going on the show and send those messages. So, coming up next, we have Martin J till midday, and from midday we have Mosty G, and from 2 to 4 p.m. we have DJ Omar in for DJ Anel. And from 4 till 6, we have DJ Lee. And 6 till 8 p.m., we have WJ Good Groove. And from 8 till 10, we have Yet to Be Confirmed. And 10 till midnight, we have DJ Squeaky. And from midnight to 2 a.m., we have Uncle Nut until he says so. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is the DJ presenter lineup on your number one community radio station, Supreme FM, for this Saturday stroke early Sunday morning. So I'd like to give a big shout out once again to my sponsors of my show, Fine Boy Inc. and Thami Quest, the UK's number one black entertainment company. So it's the same time next week for your Saturday morning fix. Remember, tomorrow is not promised, so love and appreciate the people who are in your life, and most importantly, love yourself first. Don't let anybody's negative behavior live rent-free inside of you. Keep it supreme. Hashtag spilling that tea.
Inside